Hey guys, so in this video we're going to look at if static stretching and dynamic stretching as part of a combined warm-up is going to improve club head speed, ball speed and hidden distance as well. Okay, so we looked at dynamic stretching and static stretching alone and saw that both of them alone led to some increases in distance, and dynamic stretching maybe more so in club head speed and ball speed as well. But is there benefits of doing both together in a warm-up, okay, or is there just going to be useful to maybe do more dynamic stretches, as there's maybe more benefits to that than the static stretches alone. So here we go, we're going to look at the golf swings I did to begin with no warm-up at all. For warm-ups, dynamic stretching has definitely been more popular for doing before power and strength-based activities, okay, whereas static stretching can reduce strength and power output. However, that's generally when static stretches are held for longer periods of time, okay, so we're not looking at long static stretches. It's not particularly valid to golfers anyway, because who's doing a minute stretch 3 times whilst laying on the ground on the first tee? It's not really happening. But can a shorter stretch can we get benefits from shorter static stretches as part of a bigger warm-up, okay, including dynamic stretches too? So there are some studies that suggest that including static stretches as part of a warm-up, not just static stretches alone, don't reduce performance, okay? But is there much point of adding them anyway? It could be suggested that maybe for activities or sports with that require more range of motion, that static stretches could be useful, okay? Maybe things like golf or martial art type activities or gymnastics. But the research also shows that we can gain range of motion from dynamic stretching, okay? So why don't we just do dynamic stretches? But also mentally preparing yourself for whatever activity you're just going to do, okay? When I did the static stretches, and then on the ground for a few minutes, definitely made me feel more tired. Didn't really feel like I was ready to swing and hit the ball as hard as I could, okay? Especially compared to doing the dynamic stretches. So basic findings were again, compared to no warm up at all, club head speed had increased, okay? Similarly to when we did static stretching and dynamic stretching alone. Ball speed also increased, which again was pretty similar to when dynamic stretching alone. And then also looking at overall distance, that also increased by about 6 yards. This was sort of a 6 iron, which was again exactly the same roughly to the previous test, looking at static stretching and dynamic stretching on their own. So the static stretches I included were based on where I feel tightest, as I think this could be the only reason why you might add static stretches into your warm-up before playing or practicing golf, would be where if you do feel particular areas could have an extra benefit from doing the static stretches. Otherwise, just general static stretches, then I don't really see much benefit from that. So this is the only place I could see them being useful. So for myself, I did ankle stretches, as my right ankles always feels a little bit tighter, so I did stretch both. I did my glutes, so hips, as my right again always feels a little bit tighter, and then I did shoulders, so I did chest and lat stretch. Since having arm surgery on my left side, then this always feels a little bit tighter, stiffer, and then having an injury on my right side, then this one feels a little bit stiffer, a little bit tighter as well, especially sort of overhead. So these were specific to me. So not to mention also trying to keep the warm-up short as well, so we stuck to the same dynamic stretches and just added these, we stuck to the same dynamic stretches and added these static stretches in, all for just 30 seconds each, okay? So I thought it was a reasonable time to kind of feel like it had done something compared to maybe a 10-second stretch, but also not too long, because we know that longer duration static stretches can reduce performance. What can we take from this is that just a few minutes of dynamic stretches achieve the same thing, if not maybe slightly better, more than dynamic stretches and static stretches, which took I think close to 6 to 7 minutes, so basically double the amount of time, and I didn't see any other improvement. I also didn't see a reduction in performance either, okay? It was all about the same, one sort of distance, 172, 173, it's all pretty much the same. It did increase from no warm-up at all, but really might as well just do the dynamic stretches. Static stretches then didn't really seem to add anything more than what the dynamic stretches alone provided. Remember, the club head speed didn't really increase with static stretches, or it didn't increase at all. It was only the strike that was slightly better, so I didn't actually move quicker, I just hit it better. So there we go, guys. Static stretches didn't negatively affect the performance when combined with dynamic stretches, but is there a place for static stretches? Maybe for some, maybe not. I'd probably just stick to the dynamic stretches, as it seems to be a much better use of time, but if you chuck in a couple of static stretches, then it didn't look like it really affected performance. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you do to warm up for your round of golf.